Welcome. If you're joining us, chances are you're dealing with irritable bowel syndrome or bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and lots of pain. And I'm here to talk with you today specifically about what we can do beyond food, because we know that food is part of our digestive experience. It can interact with how we feel on a day-to-day basis. But after dealing with irritable bowel syndrome for 18 years, after recently returning from 10 days in Mexico and experiencing travel again with family, with friends, trying new restaurants, and dealing with the stresses that come with weddings, family occasions, and travel, I want to break down in this video exactly what we need to focus on outside of food in order to have some deeper healing. So for those that don't know, my name is Josh Wayne, and 18 years ago, I was suffering with irritable bowel syndrome. I was at the point where I thought I was close to death because no doctors could give me the answers that I was looking for. I got endoscopies and colonoscopies and was told, we can't find anything wrong with you. If you resonate with that, let me know down in the comments, but I'm sure many of you have had a similar experience where you've done the tests, you've tried maybe some elimination diets, and you've realized that there's something more that's going on beyond just what's going on with our food. So we know that food is extremely important, and I cover that in a lot of videos, but I want to share some of the top things that have really impacted my life and impacted my digestion. The first one is the power of deep breathing, the power of mindfulness and calming the body first. Now, from firsthand experience, I was on the low FODMAP diet for much longer than you should be on it, and I've traveled on the low FODMAP diet and found myself stressing over every small little detail. What to eat at the restaurants, to make sure that we had the food available before going traveling, but I didn't have a way to regulate my nervous system, a way to calm down. And so when you learn how to breathe with the diaphragm, which I'll share with you today, you can see amazing results. So, ask you now, when you take a deep breath in, does your stomach get bigger or smaller? Let's try that out. And you can notice my shoulders. When I take a deep breath in, do my shoulders rise or do they stay still? My shoulders are staying still. I'm taking a deep breath in with my belly. Now, if you take a deep breath in and your shoulders look like this, it may be that you're taking a shallow breath. And that's where I was at as a child when I was struggling with irritable bowel syndrome, even doing everything right. I was taking shallow breaths. And research has shown that those dealing with IBS related to constipation and also those dealing with urgency can benefit by taking a deep, calming breath. So let's try that again. If you're not able to take a deep breath, if your stomach is getting smaller on the in-breath and your shoulders are raising, give this a try. Take both of your hands and place them on your stomach. I want you to push your hands into your stomach as you breathe out. Hold. And as you breathe in, push your stomach into your hands. Hold there. And breathe out, push your hands into your stomach. Now go for 3 more breaths and really feel how a deep breath feels in your body. And this is one of the first practices that I learned through yoga certification that really changed my life outside of the food system, outside of the FODMAPs and being diagnosed. Another thing is how we communicate and how we communicate with ourselves, right? So a lot of the time we spend a high focus on our food and we focus on the bathrooms, we focus on what may or may not occur, and really rewiring our brains to be able to calm our bodies, to be able to find center, and to plan as well accordingly. So I know sometimes online people will mention that, imagine never having to think about the bathroom again. And as somebody who's been dealing with IBS for 18 years, I'll share that I still do think about the bathroom, even though I'm not dealing with painful bloating, diarrhea, or gas. And even though I generally feel like the average person, I still have a mental awareness and focus on bathrooms because it's something that helps me feel safe and helps me feel more in control. But I'll share a very unique experience, and reason why I'm out here in nature is that nature is very calming and grounding for the nervous system. The fresh air, the sunlight, the birds and the bees, the flowers. These are things that help calm and regulate our nervous system. And I'm standing here in a park in Atlanta where there's no public restrooms. And so This was a next level for me. Beyond FODMAPs, getting outside of just food was how to feel comfortable in a park where there were no bathrooms. Luckily, I live nearby. I do have restrooms that I can use, but I understand as people attend events, they come in person and meet other people, that this can be a significant source of concern and of pain. And, you know, if we look at animals in the world, no other animal needs to worry about where the bathroom is. Now, unfortunately, we have so many humans that we can't just use the bathroom in our public parks, but it's something that each one of us has to deal with on a daily basis, and something that directly impacts people dealing with irritable bowel syndrome. So there are a lot of impacts, whether it's stress, deep breathing, the way that we think about the world, and whether we think that we can actually improve. You know, if we believe that I have IBS, I will have this forever, I will never heal, then that can also be a limiting belief outside of the food that we have. Now, finally, when we do get to food, I want to mention that the number one mistake I'm seeing is that a lot of times we will restrict our food for too long of a time. We'll be on the low FODMAP diet for months or even years, and we're not able to slowly introduce healthful foods that may or may not cause some pain in certain people. And in order to do that, you want to work with somebody who is a professional, you know, working with a dietitian that can help you with an elimination diet, and then slowly increasing the foods can really create amazing results. But before delving right into the foods, it's important to understand that even if you dial in your foods perfectly, you may still be dealing with what they call hypersensitivity, or a gut-brain axis disconnect. And in order to find calm and clarity, to breathe deeply, you know, it takes a lot of concentration to understand that IBS is a holistic disorder. This is something that all of us who have IBS or who have gut health issues struggle with in one form or fashion, and that there are many ways to get to your goal of feeling better on a daily basis. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is something that I do on a daily basis, working with women that are struggling with constipation, diarrhea, gas, and bloating, and people that are here in Atlanta that want to find ways to calm their system, that want to connect with other people that are on a healthy path, and find ways to feel better so you can enjoy travel every single day. If you like this and found some value, give it a thumbs up and send it to a friend who may be in need. And thank you so much. If you guys want to get in contact, you can leave a contact down below. You can follow me on Instagram at Josh Wayne Wellness, and I'd be happy to get in touch. Thanks so much and have a great day.